The South China Sea is very important for global trade. It's a major route for ships that handle over 60% of the world's maritime trade. Every year, goods worth $5.3 trillion move through these waters, including $1.2 trillion in trade with the United States. However, rising tensions in the region could disrupt this critical route. If conflicts arise, ships might have to find new paths, which would increase costs and insurance premiums due to higher risks. This situation could destabilize global supply chains, especially affecting countries that depend heavily on sea trade. Hello and welcome back to Business APAC. In this video, we explore how the tensions in the South China Sea could impact the global economy. Did you know that 80% of global trade is transported by sea, and the South China Sea handles 20 to 33% of it? The South China Sea is crucial for China, Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea, as they rely on the Strait of Malacca to connect the Pacific and Indian Oceans. However, there are many territorial disputes in the region involving China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Brunei. Additionally, China's military buildup on artificial islands is straining relations with the US. If conflict breaks out, countries like Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Malaysia could lose between 10 to 33% of their GDP. China, the world's second largest economy, relies on sea routes for over 60% of its trade, making its economy closely tied to the South China Sea. For the US, trade through the South China Sea represents 5.72% of all its traded goods. Therefore, smooth navigation in these waters is crucial for American economic prosperity and for maintaining global leadership. This uncertainty in the South China Sea is making investors nervous. They don't want to invest in a region with a lot of tension. Even though FDI in the Philippines looks good with $556 million in April 2024 and a total of $3.53 billion from January to April, the overall trend is worrying. This investment loss affects economic growth, job creation, and technological advancement. The region's future prosperity is at risk as investors look for safer places to put their money. Moreover, the South China Sea is not just about politics, it's also about energy resources. There are large oil and gas reserves beneath its waters, which many countries want to tap into. However, this pursuit of energy is risky. Territorial disputes, such as China's claim to approximately 11 billion barrels of oil and 190 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, create uncertainty for exploration and production activities. The risk of supply disruptions is high, which could significantly impact global energy prices. This situation is critical, and economies around the region are closely watching. Beyond politics, territorial disputes are also threatening fishermen. Many people in coastal areas rely on fishing for their livelihood. The South China Sea is rich in marine life, but overfishing and territorial disputes are making things hard for fishermen. Overfishing is already a severe crisis, with studies suggesting that approximately 70% to 95% of fish stocks have declined since the 1950s. This points to a dire situation for marine biodiversity and the fishing economies that depend on it. Overlapping territorial claims have worsened this crisis, creating a perfect storm for coastal communities. Fishermen are caught in the middle and their livelihoods hanging by a thread. To recap, the South China Sea, a key area for global trade, is under threat. If a full-blown conflict breaks out in the South China Sea, it would have severe consequences. Global supply chains would be disrupted, economies would suffer, and financial markets would become unstable. A recent study suggests the South China Sea sees about $3.4 trillion worth of trade annually. This lower estimate is seen as more accurate than the previously claimed $5.3 trillion. To sum up, the South China Sea is important because it helps move about 64% of all the goods that are shipped around the world. There are different numbers for the total trade value, but the South China Sea is still very important. What can we do? We need to find a peaceful solution. Countries need to talk to each other and find a way to share the South China Sea. It is not about who is stronger, but about what is best for everyone. Your turn. What do you think about this problem? Do you have any ideas on how to solve it? Let us know in the comments below. Your opinion matters. Thanks for watching.